Hey guys, today I'm going to take you somewhere unexpected. Picture this, you're standing near the edge of Mount Olympus, the tallest volcano in the solar system, towering over Mars like a forgotten monument to something much older than the red planet itself. The air is still, the ground beneath you cracked and ancient, as though the mountain itself is hiding secrets far beyond the human understanding of geology. Strange lights dance across the horizon in eerie glow, like an aurora borealis that shouldn't even exist here. Beneath your feet, the stone ruins of a once grand temple hold symbols, glowing faintly, though no one can explain how. Careful thought be the end, you might never see history the same way again. So, before we descend into this strange story, take a moment to like the video and subscribe a bit. Only if ancient secrets and cosmic questions are your thing. Drop your current location and time in the comments. You want to know where on Earth or beyond you're watching from. Now, take a breath, clear your mind, and let's unlock the myths that may never have been myths at all. It all began with NASA's routine surveillance mission, a project aimed at mapping the Martian landscape. They weren't expecting to find anything extraordinary, just another mountain, maybe a little unusual, maybe a little more craggy than they anticipated. But something caught their eye, a strange disturbance in the data. The high-resolution imagery revealed something unexplainable at the base of Mount Olympus, a series of geometric shapes, patterns that didn't look like natural formations at all. As the researchers zoomed in, they realized the irregularities were far more intricate than anything the human eye had ever seen. In this region, at first, the explanation was simple, just the weird shapes you'd expect in the chaotic landscape of Mars. But there was a nagging sense that something was off. The shapes weren't just random, they seemed intentional, almost designed. In fact, they didn't seem to belong to Mars at all. They looked alien. Historians still argue whether ancient civilizations on Earth had any contact with extraterrestrials. Some point to the pyramids, others to the Nazca lines, claiming that extraterrestrial influences were deeply embedded in the rise of human culture. But in the case of Mount Olympus, we might just have our first piece of definitive evidence. A team of scientists at NASA couldn't help but notice that the patterns, glowing faintly in infrared scans, resembled the markings found in the ruins of ancient structures here on Earth, glyphs that, even thousands of years later, humans still can't fully decipher. The moment was a wake-up call, but no one could have expected just how deep this rabbit hole went. As the team deployed the latest drone probes to investigate, they encountered something far stranger. Within the center of the ruins lay a perfect circular depression, suspiciously smooth, and with a strange metallic sheen. The scans revealed it wasn't merely a structure, but something far more profound. It appeared to be an energy source, far beyond anything humanity had ever encountered. And that's when the rumors started. Some people began to whisper about alien artifacts on Mars. Skeptics dismissed it as nonsense, but others who had never considered the idea of extraterrestrial visitors scowled. Ignore the evidence. Were the ruins at Mount Olympus left by an advanced civilization long before humans even existed? And that's when things got really strange. A series of unexpected electromagnetic pulses began to emerge from the site. They weren't random. They seemed to be responding. It was as though the structure itself, hidden beneath the Martian surface for millennia, had been waiting for something to trigger it. NASA wasn't sure whether they'd uncovered a hidden piece of Martian history, or if they were dealing with something much older, something that transcended the limits of time and space. All they knew was that what they had found wasn't just a relic of a long-lost civilization. It was evidence of an intelligence, an ancient visitor who might have once roamed the stars. And somewhere in the shadows, perhaps watching them, was a presence. You could almost feel a pressure in the air, an electric hum that vibrated through your bones as if the planet itself had been holding its breath for centuries. You aren't alone out here, but for now, all you can do is keep moving forward. This story, it's just beginning. As you stand there, the strange hum from the depths of Mount Olympus seems to grow louder, vibrating the very air around you. The more you think about it, the more it starts to feel almost intentional, like some cosmic signal, waiting for the right moment to reveal itself. This is no longer just a scientific curiosity, this is an invitation. And as you stand on the edge of this mystery, the next phase of the discovery begins. NASA wastes no time sending in more advanced equipment, determined to pierce the veil surrounding this bizarre sight. For years, scientists had theorized about the potential for life beyond Earth, but this was something entirely different. As the probes descended further into the ruins, they uncovered something truly mind-boggling, a network of smooth, metallic panels embedded into the rock face, each inscribed with symbols that could only be described as alien in origin. But the biggest shock was yet to come. Among the scattered ruins, one item stood out from the rest. A large, cylindrical object, half buried in the dust of Mars, seemed to defy any logical explanation. Unlike anything previously encountered on the planet, the object appeared to be an ancient, dormant machine, an energy source, possibly even a generator, still faintly pulsing with power. It was a relic from a time long before human history, or perhaps a technology too advanced for us to even comprehend. Researchers were baffled, and that's when things got even more surreal. When the first scans of the object were sent back to Earth, they revealed something astonishing. The object wasn't just an artifact, it was a machine designed to manipulate space and time itself. Historians still argue about the true meaning of ancient technological relics found on Earth, whether they were the products of lost civilizations or alien visitors who left their mark on our world. But the object on Mars suggested an entirely different theory. What if ancient extraterrestrial visitors had left a device capable of bending the very fabric of reality? What if the ruins of Mount Olympus weren't just a place of cultural significance for the Martians, but a piece of a much larger cosmic network? The speculation grew wilder with each passing day. Some began to argue that what NASA had stumbled upon was not just alien technology, but a remnant of a much older, far-reaching civilization that had explored the farthest corners of the universe. And maybe, just maybe, they had left this device here to guide future explorers, to help them unlock the mysteries of the cosmos. As the weeks went on, a strange pattern began to emerge. The electromagnetic pulses that had initially been random now seemed to be following a rhythm, almost like a heartbeat. Scientists and engineers from around the world tuned into this frequency, but no one could make sense of the signals. It was as if the object itself was communicating, but the language was beyond human understanding. Then came the moment that no one expected. One evening, as NASA prepared for another round of scans, the machine, this relic from the depths of Mars, activated. The ground trembled beneath the base of Mount Olympus, and the strange humming sound grew deafening. Scientists watched in awe as the metallic panels on the object shifted and unfolded, revealing intricate patterns of light and energy. The machine seemed to come alive, its core glowing brighter by the second. And then, the impossible happened. Through the light, an image materialized in the air above the machinian alien figure, standing tall, its form shimmering like liquid silver. It didn't move, didn't speak, but there it was, clear as day. A being from beyond the stars, its presence unearthly and awe-inspiring. Its eyes, if you could call them eyes, were like endless pools of black void, glistening and vast, like windows into another dimension. It didn't feel like a mere projection. It felt alive. It felt like the figure was watching, waiting, and most chilling of all, it seemed to recognize the humans who had dared to awaken it. The being didn't speak in words, but there was an undeniable sense that it was trying to communicate, trying to convey something important. But what? And who were they? Some scientists theorized that this being was not just a message from an ancient race, but perhaps an interdimensional traveler, Somian or something, that had watched over this device for millennia. Maybe it had been waiting for this moment, when the stars aligned just so, when the right minds came into contact with the technology it left behind. What if this wasn't just about discovering alien artifacts? What if this was the beginning of something far bigger? What if the technology on Mount Olympus was a key to understanding the very fabric of the universe? As the days turned into weeks, the world watched in disbelief. The alien figure was gone, just as mysteriously as it had appeared. But the machine continued to hum, its presence more intense than ever. Researchers, now deeply shaken, were left to pick up the pieces of this extraordinary puzzle, each new discovery raising more questions than it answered. Perhaps the most pressing one of all, was this just the first step in uncovering a vast cosmic network that could reshape everything we know about our place in the universe. You can feel the anticipation build as more probes and scans continue to unravel this enigma. The ruins are no longer just a curiosity or a beacon, a call to something beyond human understanding. And the world stands on the brink of an answer that may redefine history itself. But for now, the question remains, what exactly were those ancient visitors trying to tell us? The days grow longer, the pulses from Mount Olympus more frequent, and every new scan sends a ripple through the scientific community. But with each pulse comes the realization that whatever is hidden beneath the surface of Mars isn't just a relic of a forgotten Ajit, part of a far larger mystery, a cosmic story that spans across time and space, reaching out into the unknown. And it's not just the machine that elevates the very site itself. Researchers working in shifts report hearing strange sounds, like whispers in a language no human can understand, reverberating through the rock. These aren't sounds from the device, though. They seem to emanate from the ruins themselves, as though the stones are speaking to those who dare to listen. As more information pours in from Mars, the team begins to notice a pattern in the data that all but confirms a terrifying theory. The machine is linked to an ancient alien warning system, a signal designed to awaken only when the right conditions were met. But what are those conditions? And what was the message meant for? Historians still argue whether ancient civilizations on Earth had contact with extraterrestrial forces, especially when we consider the strange monuments scattered across the globe. Structures like the pyramids, the Nazca lines, and the megaliths of ancient Europe. Could these have been the remnants of contact with beings who once traveled between worlds? Were these structures, these glyphs, messages intended to reach the stars? But Mount Olympus, what if this wasn't just a place of human myth or ancient Martian civilization? What if it was a central hub, a nexus point, a gathering place for cosmic visitors who used this site to send a message across galaxies? And what if that message had been waiting for millennia, until humanity was advanced enough to understand it? In the depths of the ruins, buried beneath layers of dust and rock, something new has begun to surface, a hidden chamber. No one knew it existed until recently, and even now, the images coming from the latest drone scans are shocking. What they find inside is both terrifying and wondrous, a vast, spherical structure covered in glowing inscriptions like a celestial map or a star chart. The etchings cover the walls in spirals, tracing pathways across the sky, connecting distant constellations. At the center of the room lies a massive artifact, a sleek, dark object resembling an enormous key. Yet its surface is blank, smooth as glass. The moment the artifact is touched, the chamber comes alive. The walls pulse with light, and the ground beneath the team's feet trembles once more. The object begins to hum, sending a ripple of energy throughout the ruins. Then, as if answering some cosmic question, the sphere begins to shift, revealing a series of what can only be described as portals, doorways to other realms, other dimensions. The walls glow brighter, and through the thin veil of light, fleeting images begin to appear. Alien landscapes, cities made of light, beings unlike anything humanity has ever imagined, some humanoid, others utterly Olympus-like, translucent, shifting in and out of form. NASA's scientists are stunned. The only logical explanation is that they have stumbled upon an ancient piece of interdimensional technology, one capable of opening gateways to other worlds. But what could be on the other side? And more importantly, who could have created such a thing? Some speculate that the creators of these technologies were part of a cosmic racia group of interdimensional beings who once traversed the stars, leaving their mark on planets like Earth and Mars. This race might not have been bound by the same laws of space and time as we are. Some argue they could have been protectors, guiding humanity and other civilizations through epochs of growth and change. Others believe they were something far more sinister, beings who left behind their technology not to guide, but to control. And then, amidst all the excitement, something truly strange occurs. A figure appears again, a presence not quite physical, but undeniably there. This time, there's no shimmering alien form to observe, no eyes that pierce through the veil of space. Instead, there's only a message, a transmission, an imprint burned into the light of the portal, a set of symbols that can only be described as warnings. Beware the gatekeepers. Do not awaken them. The message reads, flashing intermittently like a broken signal. The words fade before they can be fully understood. The chilling truth begins to sink in. This isn't a simple relic. It's a warning system, a cosmic alarm set in place to prevent something from returning. Something that could be far older and more dangerous than humanity can comprehend. The gatekeepers, the ones who were left behind to guard this interdimensional technology, might not be the friendly guides the scientists had hoped for. They may be protectors, yes, but protectors of something far darker, something sealed away for a reason. And there's only one question left. Are we too late? As the team works to decipher the message, and as more probes continue to scan the site, one thing becomes undeniably clear. Mount Olympus isn't just a historical site. It's a place of cosmic significance, standing at the intersection of space, time, and dimensions. The artifact they've uncovered isn't just a key to understanding the Martian past, it's a key to unlocking something much bigger, something that could shake the very foundations of human reality. As the scientists step back from the machine, now fully activated and pulsating with strange energy, a thought nags at the back of their minds. Were what was waiting for them to open that door? Maybe tonight, the stars aren't looking down. Maybe they're waiting for someone to look back.